discussing about those classical theories only, because so far we have discussed only one theory, that is the scientific management theory under the classical theory. Very good morning, Yogesh. Very good morning. हमने अब तक सिर्फ एक ही थ्योरी पढ़ी है क्लासिकल थ्योरीज के अंदर, दैट इज द साइंटिफिक मैनेजमेंट थ्योरी विच वाज गिवन बाय F.W. टेलर. Because we all know that there are three theories in this classical management theory. इस classical management theory के अंदर भी there are three theories, as you can see from this slide. Let me see. In the classical theory, there is a bureaucracy theory, which was given by Max Weber. Then is your scientific management theory, which was given by F.W. Taylor. And the third one was process management theory, and this is also termed as the, I think there is someone. And the third one is the process management theory, which we all call, which we can be termed as a administrative theory also. Classical theories के अंदर we have to cover all these three theories. Till now we have covered only this scientific management theory. हमने सिर्फ ये cover किया हुआ है scientific management theory. Today we are going to discuss, or we are going to cover administrative theory as well as bureaucracy theory. Before that, I want to know, are you done with your assignment? आपको Google Classroom में एक assignment मिल गया होगा. Done with that assignment?
मैम एक्चुअली इस असाइनमेंट में ना एक प्रॉब्लम है, उसमें लाइक वो कंप्यूटर प्रोग्रामिंग के रिलेटेड तो वो हो गया, बट है ना मतलब समझ में नहीं आ रहा वो जो ट्रक ड्राइवर है उसके स्टेरियोटाइप्स बताना है या फिर ये बताना है कि है ना वो प्रोग्राम कंप्यूटर प्रोग्रामिंग से रिलेटेड है.
नहीं Mitakshi, what you have to do for the computer program as well as for the truck driver, you have to tell the stereotypes. शायद क्वेश्चन में यही दिया हुआ है कि stereotypes क्या हैं उनको लेकर, and how these stereotypes are developed, कैसे develop हुए वो बताने हैं. There are two questions. According to your perspective, first you have to tell me that what are the stereotypes, कि क्या stereotypes associated हैं truck driver or the computer programmer, and apart from that how these stereotypes develop. यानी जैसे हमने कहा था कि लाइक विमेन को लेके बहुत सारे stereotypes हैं, so how these stereotypes develop, because somewhere if we are living in that culture which have the patriarchy society or which is having the patriarchy culture, तो obviously उस patriarchy culture में ये stereotype ऑटोमेटिकली डेवलप हो गया, या बहुत टाइम तक के लिए विमेन्स जो थी वो मेन स्ट्रीम में नहीं थी, वो हम उनके काउंटर पार्ट यानी मैन की इक्वल उनको नहीं मान के चला करते थे. इसीलिए दैट इज द बेसिक रीजन कि एक विमेन्स को लेके एक स्टीरियोटाइप डेवलप हुआ कि फाइन उनको ज्यादा टॉप मोस्ट पोजीशंस नहीं देनी चाहिए ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, और दे आर नॉट सूटेबल फॉर दोस टॉप मोस्ट पोजीशंस इन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. तो किस तरह डेवलप हुआ ये भी हमें पता है कि इफ वी आर टेकिंग द केस ऑफ इंडिया, तो हमारी पैट्रियार्की सोसाइटी है. इंडिया के अलावा भी ऐसे बहुत सारी कंट्रीज हैं जहाँ पे मेल डोमिनेटेड सोसाइटी है. जहाँ पर भी मेल डोमिनेटेड सोसाइटी है तो ऑब्वियसली वहाँ पे विमेन्स को लेके स्टीरियोटाइपिंग है, क्योंकि दे डू नॉट कंसीडर वुमेन ऑन द इक्वल प्लेटफॉर्म. इक्वल प्लेटफॉर्म. हाँ जी, बोलिए.
हाँ, दीपक का भी आ रहा है, वो आपके पास में उसका फेल्ड हो रहा है बार बार, आप उनको एक बार ऐड कर लो सबको.
बेटा आई एम नॉट गेटिंग एनी रिक्वेस्ट हियर, मुझे रिक्वेस्ट नहीं मिल रहा किसी का भी. आप लोगों का तो मिल रहा है लेकिन उनका नहीं मिल रहा. लेट्स वेट फॉर फ्यू सेकेंड्स, देखते हैं अगर उनका आता है तो.
तो मैम ये 2 क्वेश्चंस हैं, तो इसको हम क्लासरूम में सबमिट कर दें या फिर
नहीं, यू हैव टू सबमिट इट इन द क्लासरूम ओनली. आप वहीं पे करके वहीं पे उनको सबमिट कर दीजिएगा, नो इश्यूज इन दैट. ठीक है, फॉर्मेट को लेकर देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम. हाँ जी बोलिए. हाँ जी बोलिए सर.
वो दीपक मतलब ज्वाइन नहीं कर पा रहा है.
What is the problem, Surjit? I'm not getting it. क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है उनको?
नहीं, उनका मतलब कुछ फेल दिखा रहा है, वो ज्वाइन नहीं कर पा रहे।
ओके ओके, कोई इशू नहीं है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ओके. So that was regarding your assignment, but let's come back to the topic which we were discussing. हम जो discuss कर रहे थे, let's come back to that topic. देखिए, we have covered the scientific management theory. Scientific management theory हम पढ़ चुके हैं. Now we are going to discuss about the administrative theory. Administrative theory that was given by Fayol, Henry Fayol. किसने दिया आपके? हेनरी फेयोल ने दिया. आप में से बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे होंगे जिनको पता भी होगा. FAYOL. फेयोल ने ये थ्योरी दिया था एंड ही वाज द माइनिंग इंजीनियर, फ्रेंच माइनिंग इंजीनियर थे वो, एंड which later turned into a businessman, जो कि बाद में जाके एक बिजनेसमैन में टर्न हो गए. Earlier he was a French mining engineer. Or what he found that there are various activities in the organizations. There are various activities or the number of activities in any organizations, and what he has done that he had divided some of the activities into the different categories, some of the important activities of the organization into different categories. Like the first category was your technical. It means whatever activity which is related to the production or which is related to the maintenance in an organization, this to be termed as a technical activity. Then whatever activity which is associated with the buying, selling or the exchange, that would comes under the commercial activity. Then if you are looking for the money, if you are looking for the capital, and how in a best possible manner you are using that fund, how in a best or the efficient manner you are utilizing that fund, that comes under the financial activity. Then if there is any activity which leads to the protection of the property, whatever equipment, whatever machines, material, or the building, the premises, or the human being, that falls into the category of security. Then accounting. Accounting simply means that you are preparing what we can say like a record in which you have the details of all the equipment, all those things, like whatever the numerical figures, the statistics related to the machines, the equipment, or the budgets, that comes under the accounting. Then your managerial activities, and the managerial activities are your planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. From all these activities, this last activities, this is the very important activity for any organization. इन सारी एक्टिविटीज में से जो सबसे ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट एक्टिविटी है, these are the managerial activities. यानी कि मैनेजरियल एक्टिविटीज किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए सबसे ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट एक्टिविटीज हैं. और मैनेजरियल एक्टिविटीज कौन सी हैं? लाइक योर प्लानिंग, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग, कमांडिंग, कोऑर्डिनेटिंग एंड कंट्रोलिंग. यानी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के अंदर व्हेन यू आर डूइंग द प्लानिंग, when you are organizing the raw material, organizing the human resource, whatever you are organizing. Commanding means you are directing them, you are giving them instructions, you are giving them orders. Then coordinating, how you are coordinating their efforts. See, in the beginning we have discussed this thing that in an organization, if there is a single individual, the organization cannot be run by a single individual. As a manager, you have to coordinate the efforts of the other people. आपको दूसरों के efforts को coordinate करना पड़ेगा so that you can achieve the organization goal, ताकि आप अपनी organization के goal को achieve कर सके. So what you are doing in that, you are just coordinating the efforts of others. And then your control. So whatever you have decided, whatever you have planned, for example, if the goal of the organization is a cost reduction, so I have to follow the number the number of activities or the number of things just to achieve this cost reduction goal. If in anywhere, in any department or any individual, they are deviating from this goal, then we have to take the corrective actions, and that is nothing but that is your control. So these are the 5 important activities. These are managerial activities. Now, apart from this, the FIOL gives the 14 principles of management, which is very very important. ये बहुत important है FIOL के 14 principles, and he is also termed as a father of administrative theory. उनको father of administrative management theory भी बोला जाता है. He is the father of administrative management theory. लाइक हमने एफ.डब्ल्यू. टेलर को फादर ऑफ साइंटिफिक मैनेजमेंट कहा, एंड हेनरी फ्योल, ही इज द फादर ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव मैनेजमेंट थ्योरी. अब लेट्स डिस्कस देयर 14 प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट. 14 प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट कौन से हैं वो डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. First is your division of work, then is your authority and responsibility, then is your discipline, then unit of command, unity of direction, remuneration, subordination of personal interest to the general interest, your centralization, scalar chain, order, equity, stability of tenure, aspirate decops, and initiative. We'll discuss them in detail one by one. When I'm saying division of work, though we have discussed this in scientific management theory also, but here it's none other than its meaning is entirely same. It means in any organization, the work should be divided on the base of their specialization. If we cannot assume or we cannot ask that there should be a bunch of the directors, or there should be a owner of the organization and who will be busy in doing all the things, like he will be doing indulge in the planning as well as executing or controlling all the activities of the organization. There should be the separation that who will do the planning, who will go for the execution and who will go for the control. तो यानी कि आप जब भी किसी एक्टिविटीज को कर रहे हैं, whatever there are activities in an organization, आपकी organization में there should be the expert for doing that work. It simply means you cannot ask any faculty which is from the maths or from the technical background that they can take the classes of the management until unless that subject is similar to them or that subject is more or less required the technical expertise. Yani ki if the person have the expertise of accounts, so he would be given the task related to the account only. अगर किसी पर्सन के पास एक्सपर्टीज अकाउंट का है तो आप उसको अकाउंट से रिलेटेड टास्क देंगे. अगर किसी पर्सन के पास एक्सपर्टीज ह्यूमन रिसोर्स से रिलेटेड है तो आप उसको ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डिपार्टमेंट में प्लेस करेंगे. देयर शुड बी नो मिसमैच. इट मीन्स आप जब भी डिवीजन ऑफ वर्क करेंगे दैट शुड बी बेस्ड ऑन देयर स्पेशलाइजेशन. इफ देयर इज नो स्पेशलाइजेशन, ऑब्वियसली द पर्सन will not feel comfortable and there would be number of hurdles or there would be number of problems. बहुत सारी problems आएंगी. If there's a faculty who used to teach the human resource and if you ask that faculty that yes you have to take the classes of maths from tomorrow onwards, if that person is not having expertise in that field, then obviously they are going to face a lot of problems. उनके problem फेस करने के साथ साथ the customers, your end customers, they will not feel satisfied. वो satisfied feel नहीं करेंगे because they are not getting that product in that quality or with that standard which they are expecting. जिसका वो एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं वो स्टैंडर्ड का उनको नहीं मिल पाएगा. तो पहली चीज ये कि आप डिवीजन ऑफ वर्क करेंगे अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में बेस्ड ऑन देयर एक्सपर्टीज, बेस्ड ऑन देयर स्पेशलाइजेशन. Then comes your authority and responsibility. So authority and responsibility, it simply means that every subordinate is supposed that they should follow the orders of their seniors. आपको अपनी सीनियर्स के ऑर्डर्स फॉलो करने होंगे। एंड फ्रॉम वेयर दिस अथॉरिटी कम्स, और ये अथॉरिटी आ कहाँ से रही है? सी देयर आर टू वेज ऑफ अथॉरिटी। I don't know whether we have this concept in detail in this syllabus or not, but I'm just going to tell you something about this authority. There are two types of authority. Actually, there are various types of authority, लेकिन यहाँ पे जिन authorities की बात कर रहे हैं, there are two types of authority. One is your formal authority. Formal authority are those authority which comes from your designation. जो आपके डेजिग्नेशन से आती है, जो आपकी पोजीशन से आती है। लाइक इफ यू आर द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, then obviously from that position this authority is vested on the position of a prime minister. Then comes your personal authority. Personal authority is your charisma, आपकी पर्सनालिटी, आपका कैरिज्मा, that people love to follow you, people love to obey you. That is your personal authority which is not coming from any position, जो किसी पोजीशन से नहीं आ रहा है, जो आपकी पर्सनल कैरिज्मा पे डिपेंड करता है कि द वे द पर्सनालिटी यू हैव, इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन दैट। तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर बिकॉज दिस अथॉरिटी इज वेस्टेड ऑन द पोजीशन, तो किसी भी सुपीरियर को ऑर्डर्स देने का फुल राइट है, बिकॉज दे हैव द अथॉरिटी टू डू सो, दे हैव द पावर टू डू सो, एंड दे कैन एक्सपेक्ट दैट देयर सबऑर्डिनेट should follow their orders. और as a subordinate, आपके जो subordinates हैं उनको वो उस orders को follow करना होगा। Without this authority, you cannot set the responsibility of your subordinate. आप अपने subordinate की responsibility set नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि अगर आपके पास authority नहीं है, if you are not the manager, then on what capacity, on what basis you are asking anybody that you have to complete this task by the end of the day? In what capacity you are asking to that person? So first of all, you have that authority, then you are setting the responsibility of your subordinates. Then come your discipline. Discipline, it means that you have to abide by all the orders of your superiors. आपके superiors के जितने भी orders हैं, you have to follow those orders. You have to abide by all the rules and regulations of organization. Or we can say it simply means do's and don'ts. क्या करना है किसी organization के अंदर और क्या नहीं करना है. Like if 9 to 5, it means simply means that you have to report on the organization at 9 a.m. You are supposed to leave the organization at 5 p.m. not before that. So these are the discipline. If I have to take any safety measure while doing my job, then I have to abide by the rules and regulations. Then there comes your unity of command. अब आता है आपका unity of command. So in an organization, it should be ensured that no individual is getting the orders from multiple persons. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि किसी भी subordinate को number of persons they are giving orders. यानी आपको अपने डिपार्टमेंट में भी ऑर्डर मिल रहा है एंड फ्रॉम द अदर डिपार्टमेंट यू आर आल्सो गेटिंग द ऑर्डर्स. सो देयर विल बी अ chaos इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू मेक अप कि किस इंस्ट्रक्शंस को फॉलो करना है और किस इंस्ट्रक्शन को फॉलो नहीं करना है. The unity of command, it simply means that the individual who is working in the organization, they will be getting order from one superior only. किसी एक superior से उनको order मिल रहा होगा instead of getting orders from multiple superior. Multiple superior से आपको order नहीं मिलेगा, आपको सिर्फ एक superior से order मिलेगा. Then is your unity of direction. So unity of direction, it simply means that whatever is the goal of an individual, whatever is the goal of an organization, and whatever is the goal of a department, they should move or they should be in the same direction. सारे के सारे एक डायरेक्शन में होने चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. It should not be like that the individual is having a different goal, department is having a different goal, and the organization is having a different goal. So in the end you will not be able to achieve anything. अगर ऐसा होगा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में तो आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के गोल्स कभी अचीव नहीं कर सकते. So for that what we have to do, कि unity of direction should be there. Whatever is the goal of the organization, in continuation or in alignment of that, there should be the goal of the department. and whatever is the goal of the department, in alignment of that there should be a goal of the individual, so that they all it means the organization, the department and the individual, the three labels, they are working in the same direction to achieve the organization goal. If it is not there, then you will not be able to achieve the organization goal. यानी आप कभी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का गोल अचीव नहीं कर सकते इफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का गोल है to bring a innovative product in the market. If that is the goal of the organization, department का goal है to be the cost reduction, focus on the cost reduction, and the individual is having the goal that okay fine, I have to increase my salary, I have to look for my incentives, then obviously nobody is going to achieve their goal. किसी का भी goal कभी achieve नहीं हो पाएगा. Then comes your remuneration. So remuneration means that you are giving a fair salary to your employees. आप अपने employees को fair salary देते हैं based on the market conditions. Market की जो भी conditions है उसको consider करते हुए, based on the cost of living index जो होता है उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए, what your competitors are paying to their employees, आपके competitors आपके employees को क्या दे रहे हैं. Considering all these factors, you are deciding the remuneration. It should not be like that because my employees are working there in my premises, in my organizations, and they don't have much alternatives or they are not looking for the job anywhere. So I can pay as much amount as I want. I can pay them simply 50 rupees per day. No, it should not be like that. You have to consider the number of factors, the cost of living index, what your competitors are paying, so that employee should feel that yes, my employer is paying a fair amount to me, ताकि उनका कोई dissatisfaction ना हो. Then your subordination of personal interest to the general interest. In an organization, we have to keep in mind that if we have to prioritize the interest, then on the priority or in the topmost, we have to keep the interest of the organization or the interest of the public. That is, the public means the employees. It should not be like that I am focusing on my interest. यानी जिस किसी भी इंटरेस्ट से, जिस किसी भी गोल से ज्यादा ज्यादा लोगों का बेनिफिट हो सकता है, ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों का वेलफेयर हो सकता है, that should be keep at the priority instead of the welfare of an individual. इंडिविजुअल का अगर ऐसे कोई गोल्स हैं और सॉरी ऐसे कोई इंटरेस्ट है जहाँ पे इंडिविजुअल का इंटरेस्ट भी है, जहाँ पब्लिक का इट मींस एम्प्लॉइज का इंटरेस्ट भी है, इन दैट केस व्हाट वी हैव टू फॉलो इन द प्रायोरिटी और इन द टॉप मोस्ट पोजीशंस, आपको हमेशा लार्ज स्केल पे बहुत सारे लोगों का जिसमें भी वेलफेयर होता है उसको पहले इम्पोर्टेंस देना है या उसको प्रायोरिटाइज करना है रादर देन interest of an individual. Then comes your centralization. See, if in any organization you are taking the decision, it depends whether you are taking the decision in a centralized manner or a decentralized manner. Centralized manner, it simply means that the topmost authority, they have the power to take each and every decision. हर डिसीजन से वो लेंगे. यू आर नॉट एंटाइटल्ड, यानी कि लोअर लेवल पे जो मैनेजमेंट है उसे कोई राइट नहीं है टू टेक एनी डिसीजन. दे आर सिंपली सपोज टू फॉलो दैट डिसीजन. व्हाटएवर डिसीजन इज टू बी टेकन, दैट इज टू बी टेकन बाय द टॉप मैनेजमेंट. यानी हर डिसीजन टॉप मैनेजमेंट लेगा और लोअर लेवल दे आर सपोज टू फॉलो दैट डिसीजन. दे हैव टू एग्जीक्यूट दैट डिसीजन. They cannot give their any input. They are not supposed to give their any suggestion. यानी सिर्फ one way communication है. I am giving you the instructions and you are supposed to follow that instructions without any if and but. There is no two-way communication. You cannot suggest me something. You have to follow whatever I am saying, whatever I am instructing. It simply means centralization. So in your organization, is there any centralization or decentralization? It depends. It depends कि आपकी organization के अंदर centralization है या decentralization है. Like in the most of the government organization, there is a centralization. whatever the management or whatever the senior authority have said, the others are supposed to follow that. बाकी सबको उसको follow ही करना है. सेंट्रलाइज्ड वे में डिसीजन लिए जाते हैं. ओके फाइन. सेंट्रलाइज्ड लेवल पे यानी टॉप मोस्ट मैनेजमेंट और द टॉप मैनेजमेंट दे हैव डिसाइडेड फाइन how many people we are going to recruit, what type of people we are going to recruit, what quality they should possess. But on the contrary, if that is a decentralized approach your organization is following, it simply means that the departmental level you are taking input from those people. आप उनसे पूछते हैं, okay fine, you tell us, you suggest us what type of a person we should recruit, what quality we should look in that candidate, because ultimately you are the person who will be, or that person whom we will be recruiting, that person will be working in your department. So you are the best person who can tell us or who can give us insight कि उस person में क्या quality होनी चाहिए. So that is your centralization. Then is your scalar chain. Scalar chain means your flow of communication. आपका communication कैसा होगा. So what he used to say, the Henry Fayol used to say that let's suppose this is a triangle, and if there are so many levels like top management, your middle management, and your lower level of management, so the information will flow in this manner that the top management will communicate with the middle management and the middle management will communicate with the lower level of management. यानी आप अपने लेवल से जो अपने लोअर लेवल है उससे कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हैं. It doesn't mean that top management will communicate with the lower level of management. Information will flow in this way, and if they are seeking any information और अगर किसी information की जरूरत है, then the lower level will report to the middle management, and ultimately eventually the middle management will report to the top management. So directly, not the lower level, they are not supposed to interact directly with the top management. But if in any case, let's suppose I'm just naming it here A and A, it simply means that this information either can flow this way or either it can flow this way. Fine, you cannot break the channels or you cannot break the hierarchy. जो ये जो hierarchy बनी हुई है आप उसे break नहीं कर सकते. You are not supposed to do that. But if in any case the person, those who are at the same level, those who are at the same designation, if somewhere they have to pass the information or they have to communicate with each other, in this process is termed as gangplank. इस प्रोसेस को आप बोलते हैं gangplank. If two persons at the same level and they are sharing the information or they are communicating with each other, then that is to be termed as gangplank, and that is permitted, that is allowed. Apart from that, you have to follow the hierarchy. आपको एक hierarchy follow करना होगा communication के लिए. That day I also told you that you cannot bypass the channel. आप channel को bypass नहीं कर सकते हैं. That's why most of the organization they used to say that you are supposed to follow the protocol. आपको प्रोटोकॉल फॉलो करना होगा. अब आपने टॉप मैनेजमेंट को कैसे लिख दिया, आपने टॉप लेवल को ये चीज कैसे लिख दी विदाउट टेकिंग मी इन लूप, आपने मुझे लूप में कैसे नहीं लिया. सो दैट इज व्हाट, दैट इज अ स्केलर चेन. दैट व्हाट इज द हायरार्की लेवल. आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जो हायरार्की लेवल है यू आर सपोज टू फॉलो दैट. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि यू सिंपली से ओके फाइन बिकॉज आई एम हैविंग अ सम कंप्लेंट फ्रॉम माय बॉस और फ्रॉम माय सुपरवाइजर, सो आई विल go directly to the top management, to the CEO, and I will register my complaint there. मैं अपनी submit कर दूंगा complaint, that's it. But in that case, your manager will become upset and they will say कि okay fine आपने hierarchy follow नहीं किया. या हो सकता है top management ही आपकी application या grievances या complaint return कर दे and they ask you that this submit this grievance or complaint whatever you have given to us, but with the proper channel के साथ इसे submit कीजिए. That is your scalar chain. Then order it nothing it simply means that everything should be in a systematic manner in an organization. हर चीज जो भी organization में है that should be in a systematic manner. It should not be like that कि कोई chaos हो आपकी organizations में. Hierarchy should be clearly established. who will be reporting whom, this would be clearly established. Flow of communication, what is the flow of communication, that should be clearly established. हर चीज जो है वो clearly established होनी चाहिए. Then is your equity. Equity means that you are treating all the employees in your organization equally. When I'm saying equally, it means there is no favoritism, there is no biasness, there is no prejudiceness. आपके दिमाग में पहले से ही कोई prejudice नहीं है. I'm not saying okay fine because that this person belongs to the rural area, so obviously he or she doesn't I'm not eager to give him the promotion. मुझे उसे promotion नहीं देना because he or she might not be good in the communication. They might be having the problem in the communication. So this is what, this is prejudice, because already you have make up your mind that fine because this person belongs to the rural area, so उसके communication skills में problem होगा, or because she is a woman, so she is having a lot of family issues, so let's not promote her, let's not give her this challenging task, because later on we will be facing the problem. Instead of that, you have to treat all the employees in an equal manner. Impersonally आपको treat करना है, कोई भी personal biasness नहीं होना चाहिए, nor on the basis of gender, nor on the basis of caste. किसी भी चीज उसके बेस पे आप अपने एम्प्लॉयज को डिस्क्रिमिनेट नहीं करेंगे. Then is your stability of tenure. Stability of tenure, it simply means that what you are doing, that whenever you are giving a job to the employee or to the candidate, you should ensure that they should get the job security. उनका job security होना चाहिए. Then only we can say कि fine the organization can achieve their goals in a efficient manner. तब आप goals को efficient manner में achieve कर सकते हैं. If the situations are like that कि आज मैंने किसी पर्सन को हायर किया, नेक्स्ट मंथ उसको फायर कर दिया, फिर किसी को हायर किया, फिर किसी को हायर कर दिया, इन दैट केस देयर इज नो स्टेबिलिटी ऑफ टेन्योर. आप किसी भी एम्प्लॉय को जॉब सिक्योरिटी देने में फेल है, आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फेल है. एंड इफ दिस इज द केस, देन अगेन देयर विल बी अ नंबर ऑफ कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस. व्हाई? बिकॉज नीदर those employee will be having any emotional bond with the organization. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ उनका कोई बॉन्ड नहीं बन पाएगा. सेकेंडरी थिंग वी कैन से कि इफ आई एम डूइंग दिस वर्क, लेट्स सपोज, एंड आफ्टर अ मंथ इफ somebody else will take this job, then obviously there will be a number of issues. There will be an issue regarding the compatibility with the student. If in a month the student becomes used to of my approach, then obviously it will take time when the other faculty will take my position. अगर कोई और faculty आके मेरी position लेता है और उस subject को पढ़ाता है, तो obviously student को कुछ time लगेगा उस approach को या उस teaching methodology को adopt करने में. So there should be the stability of tenure. Then is your Asperity Corps. Asperity Corps, it simply means team spirit. आपको अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर you have to encourage the team spirit. The people should work in a team. They should have that team spirit. They should not feel like that. Okay, fine, I'm bother about myself. If my performance is good, why should I feel about the team? Let them die, let them suffer if they are not doing work. That should be the team spirit. That okay, fine, if I have assigned any project, we are working as a team. We are not working as an individual. We are working as a team on this project, on this assignment. That is your team spirit. And the last one is your initiative. So your organization culture should be like that, which promote or which encourages where employees should take initiative. It should not be like that you are not asking the employees their input, their suggestions. You should create such organization culture where employees feel free to give their inputs, their suggestions. Then only the innovativeness or what we can say, the culture of innovativeness can be built in your organization. If employees, they do not take any initiative, then it simply means they are abiding by your orders. वो आपके सिर्फ ऑर्डर्स को फॉलो कर रहे होंगे, वो कोई इनिशिएटिव नहीं ले रहे होंगे, बिकॉज दोज एम्प्लॉय, दोज हु आर वर्किंग इन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फ्रॉम द 20 or the 25 years, forget about this tenure also for the time being. If I'm saying, if any one of you, if you join the corporate sector of in year 2021 or in 2022, so if there are high probabilities that you might be having the number of suggestions, the number of ideas which can be fruitful to the organization. But if organization is not giving you any opportunity to give your suggestions, then obviously somewhere you are also feeling demotivated, and on the other hand the organization is following that culture which is doing the routine work, which is doing the monotonous job. Because jobs can be, see, there is a work which can be done by a number of ways. किसी भी काम को करने के बहुत सारे तरीके हो सकते हैं, and from where I am getting that input? From my employees, from the workers who are working in my organization. So that is initiative. Is there any doubt in any of the principle of management from these 14 principles? किसी में कोई डाउट आपको? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So
No.
let's, okay, just though I will not be able to complete this bureaucracy because it's already 12:10. So this bureaucracy, this was given by Max Weber. Max Weber ने दिया था, and what he said कि basically in an organization there are three types of system. We have the leader system, we have the traditional system, and we have the modern system. In the leader system, what people used to do, या organizations में what employee used to do, they used to be loyal to the leader. वो आपके leader के employee होते हैं. और if we are following the traditional system, it simply means कि अगर आपके मेरे father का business है, so obviously I would be the owner of that business. क्योंकि वो मुझे inheritance, मुझे मेरे father ने दिया है, तो obviously whether I possess those qualities to become an entrepreneur or to become a businessman or not, but because my father, I have inherited this business from my father, so I would be the owner of that business. This was the second system. And the third system was the modern system, which says that if you have the quality, then only you should be given that position. अगर आपके अंदर वो क्वालिटी है तो ही आपको वो पोजीशन देना चाहिए. like nowadays you people are, I mean, watching, if you are watching the news channel, तो आपने बहुत देखा होगा नेपोटिज्म पे आता है. व्हाट इज दैट? या पॉलिटिक्स में हम देखते हैं तो नेपोटिज्म, एंड द पीपल यूज्ड टू से इट शुड नॉट बी देयर कि अगर आपके फादर पॉलिटिशियंस थे तो आपको भी पॉलिटिक्स में आना है. इट शुड नॉट बी लाइक दैट कि आपको हर चीज रेडी मिलती है. सो दैट वाज द ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम. लाइक if your father is a king, then obviously after him that person would be the king. If that person is the owner of the business, then after that person his son or his daughter would be the owner of the business. So this should not be there. We have to follow the approach where if the person is having the quality, if the person is having the capability, then only he or she will take that position, which we will discuss tomorrow. The bureaucracy theory हम कल देखेंगे. Till now, if there is any query or if there is any question, please ask. अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो प्लीज यू कैन रेज द क्वेश्चन इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट. नो डाउट? एनी डाउट योगेश?